Hi everyone, Corey here from Tales from a Polk County Girl, and in this video, I'm going to be talking to you about my notebook ecosystem. I like the term notebook because to me that is a catch-all for everything I'm going to show you. My notebook ecosystem includes my planners, my journal, and the notebooks. So I just did a walkthrough video on my planner, so you guys will get to see that again. And I think I'll just start with the planners. So if you guys have watched a couple of the most recent videos, so this is the quarterly that I'm finishing out 2025 in. And I have done a video on this, so just go a little farther back in my video list. I just realized I'm filming and did not put earrings on. Oh well. I also just did the walkthrough video of my 2026 bound planner. This is one of my, well, both of these. Both of these are my designs. I'll have direct links to them in the description. And I did do a walkthrough video on this one. So now that I've done the walkthrough video on it, I feel like I can go through and start putting stuff in. There's some stuff that I just did not want to put in yet, because I do like the look of a nice clean, fresh, clean planner at the beginning. So those are the planners. Well, planner, so current and upcoming. The next one you guys have seen before, old reliable, my B6 Flex. Even though I'm not planning in this anymore, this is still like my brain dump notebook, my list notebook. It's where my collections are, my categorized to-do list. It's my inbox. It's, if I just got to throw one thing in my bag, it's this. Okay, so plus I've also figured out recently, and I can't remember if I know I didn't mention it in the walkthrough video, but if I mentioned it in this one, I view my planners more of structured memory diaries for like what happened, what am I tracking on that specific day. So let me find a really good example here. So this was the first week of November. You can see by the color coding, all my color coding means different things, but it's all color coded stuff and stuff that I'm tracking that's important to me. So, but for this is where I make my daily lists. Like I said, it's my inbox when I need to do a brain dump at night. So this is what, if anyone wants to see a little walkthrough of what this looks like, let me know, and I'll do an overhead of that. But essentially it has some pretty stuff for me to look at. My my reading tracker, which is nothing special. I'm not one of those that does those pretty reader trackers, because my so I'm a librarian by day, and my TBR list is over 2,000 titles, which, I mean, anybody that likes to read, is that surprising? But I also have a comprehensive Google Excel spreadsheet that is every book I've ever read, whether or not I finished it. Like if I change my mind, I'll like note that, and then every book I want to read, and that comprehensive list is like 3,200 titles. So if anybody wants any more information on that, I do want to figure out how to see if I can screen record on my tablet, and if I can figure that out and y'all want to see that, I will gladly do a video on it, or attempt to do a video on it. But that is where, for me, I keep track of what I have read over the years, because I've read so much that not every book, I don't remember every book. So anyways, here's another example. It's my computer to-do list, like stuff that I have to be on the computer to do. And then, so this isn't up to date, but like I am off work for a few weeks because the college is closed, and I made myself kind of a weekly list. It's like, Corey, why didn't you do that in your planner? There's a reason. So then I like making myself daily to-do lists. So I don't like using my planner for the to-do lists or the task list, because I have found that I will write down so many tasks that then when I do something I want to track, I have no place to track it. So I would rather track stuff in here, because when I look back over the years, that is what's going to mean something to me, not whether or not I created the photo book that I sent my grandmother for Christmas. That I don't need to know that, but that's kind of what this book is. It's a bunch of scratch paper and lists and brain dumps and daily task lists and daily sheets that the only reason they're still in here is for this video. And so after this video, I'm going to take them all out and I'm going to throw them away because I don't keep those lists. The next part of my notebook ecosystem is my journal. So I am currently down here. This journal is actually almost full. I actually only have this many pages left, which seems like a fair number of pages, but when I sit down to journal, I will write like 6 or 7 pages. And yes, there are some pages that are decorated. I'm not going to show you one that's written on and decorated, but like, so like this one page will barely have anything on it because that sticker is right in the middle. But some of them just have something like this. So there is some decoration in here. Yeah, I wrote on that one. And sometimes I will decorate my journal. It just depends on what I'm feeling. But this is an essential. My journal is very much an essential part of my ecosystem. And after I get through showing all you guys my books, I think, sorry, changing positions, I'm going to talk a little bit about why this whole concept has really grabbed me. And then the last two, which kind of like the planners, there are currently 2, but soon there will only be 1. So this is, I did go to Polk State College. I am an alum. So, my mom, this is how old this notebook is. My mom bought this for me at the college bookstore when we went to the informational session so I could become a dual enrollment student back in 2005. So 20 years ago. This spiral notebook is 20 years old, and I'm only just getting around to finishing it. It also, it just, for some reason, I didn't want to use it. I don't know why. And then it's like, just use it. Use all the things. I'm in that mindset of nothing is too pretty or too precious to use anymore. If the last 5 years have taught us that, there is nothing in this world that is too pretty or too precious to use. Nothing. All right. So, so Corey, you have planners. You have a brain dump notebook, a little portable brain dump notebook. You have a journal. Why do you also need spiral notebooks? So I'm almost done with this one. That's why this one is started. So these are for, I don't know if anybody else is like, when you need to map out an idea, I need a full-size sheet of paper. Like, this is, like, I've kind of got my hand over most of it, and stuff just fell out of the pocket. Yay. But it's a book idea, and it helped, hang on, I gotta pick this up, or else I'm gonna step on it. It helps me, like, kind of brainstorm and brain dump, like, a book idea. Let's see, what else is in here? Oh man, I wish I had the new one set up. Okay, scrunchie just fell out too. So like when I'm doing my word count log, here, I'll show you this. So when I was working on word counts when writing my book, I would fold the page in half and I would start my word count and make notes and everything. And that was a fun thing to do. It's just stuff that, okay, so this is a book I am working on. I'll show it to you because it's changed a little bit. These are all the chapter headings I had come up with because it's like a creative nonfiction memoir type thing. The book is going to be called Adventures of Suburban Homesteading. I don't know when it's going to be out. I'm still working on the first draft. But I needed to write out all the titles, even though they were on the Google Doc that I was typing in. I like having the list beside me and being able to cross it off. Now, anything that's not crossed off on here actually should be crossed off, but I'm like on the last 3 things. And then oh, see, I rewrote it. But I won't get rid of these papers until the project is complete. And when I say the project is complete, I mean published and live on Amazon. So it stays. And sometimes I just need full pieces of paper for this. Let's see. Oh, this is, I'm not going to show you this because it's another book idea. But I was I was inventorying my pantry. So I needed a big blank space to inventory the pantry. Like I said, there's 1 page. Not even 1 page. This is the last page of this book. So within several weeks, oh, it does have a pocket in front. That's why I said when stuff fell out of it, I had to pick it up. So that book is almost ready to be emptied out and retired. So anything that is in there that I'm not either carrying forward or isn't complete, anything that isn't completed and I need to like hang on to. So something that I didn't bring with me is I have a full-size flex binder. Surprise, surprise. If y'all have been hanging around for a while, you know my love of flex binders. And every page from a spiral notebook that is left at the end goes in there. And that way I still have it to refer back to. And even now, because I've been doing this for years, I've always had a random notebook on the go. And sometimes I'll go back through some of that stuff and go, yeah, I don't need this anymore. And it'll be gone. It'll be, oh, that's where the notes for that are. Yes. So if I know somewhere in the back of my brain, okay, I wrote that in one of those spiral notebooks, it'll be in the flex binder, because that's just the way my brain, that's just the way I've set things up over the years. You know, Carrie Hartley talks about having a system, right? So this is the next one. It's pretty. I am already using it. Like, again, fiction book idea. I had a meeting with my proofreader about current another project where I'm working on. And then sometimes, like, I'm like making a really big brain dump list. This one is from November 8th. And oh yeah, hey, YouTube video notes. Sometimes I like fleshing this stuff out on full-size sheets of paper. It just is what works for me. So I think so. Those are my my notebooks. If anybody has any other questions about them, or if you'd like to see an updated walkthrough of how this thing is set up, please let me know in the comments. I'd be happy to do that. You're gonna just see a lot of blank scrap paper And the scrap paper I use is honestly, I do have standard B6 paper in there, but because of the ring size, this is the top and middle ring of your standard 3 ring. Here, I'll just flip to this real quick. So, fold this back. So for me, scrap paper is small paper. Like my son has a scrap paper bin over in his art supply stuff, and I will take, it's 8.5 by 11 paper that, he can color on the back side of or do whatever, it's scratch paper, who cares? I will take that paper if I need some quick paper and just cut it in fourths, fold it, hamburger, cut it, fold it again. Sorry if you're not American. We learned folding a paper. Hold on. All right, sorry about that. So I went and got a piece of scrap paper. So I grew up with, okay, fold it hamburger style. So you fold it in half like this. Fold it hot dog style, you fold it in half long ways. So what I would do, if I was going to turn this into scrap paper, it would be either fold it in half or use my paper cutter, cut it in half, and then fold it in half again and cut it. And that makes about, I think it's A6 size. It's about, the paper comes out about A6 size, pocket size. But it's still big enough that I can punch it and it will fit on these rings. And because it's scrap paper and I'm not going to keep it, or the information on it will be transferred elsewhere, again, scrap paper to me is temporary. I use it and I throw it away. It's okay. I'm not one of those people where my notes pages have to match my planner. I'm not that person. If you are that person, that's fine. No judgment. I'm just not. And if you're like me and you feel like you have to have stuff matching, you don't. You really, really don't. Okay? So, those are all my notebooks, the planners, the Brain Nut notebooks, whether they be B6 or full size, the journal, and I do like longhand journaling. I really enjoy longhand journaling. I do that to really work through stuff mentally. Sometimes I'll do it to document stuff like memories, but mainly I use it to kind of like work through things. But the idea of the notebook ecosystem, which seems to be a topic that's going around a lot I've seen it a lot on YouTube Shorts, to be honest. I'm not on the TikTok-y. I don't post reels. I'm on Instagram, but I don't post reels. I post posts. Again, everybody's got to figure out what works for them. I think a lot of us have tried that whole one notebook to rule them all. And we need different books for different things. Like, I personally would love it if I could do the whole full-on bullet journal, my life all at one place, hey Ray Blake, and just, from start to finish, start from one book, and it's a chronology of my life and everything. But things don't work like that for me. I would need so many books. I would probably go through so many books, and I think that's one reason why I never stuck with the bullet journal system, is I didn't like moving stuff forward. I like being in rings for temporary stuff. Bound to me is permanent. Rings are temporary. if that makes sense. So, yeah, and I think a lot of us have just figured that out over the last couple of years, is that, yeah, I do need a notebook. I need one size for this or one style for this, and this is what really works for me this way, and I really want to keep all of blah in this one spot. And so the concept of the notebook, planner, journal, choose your term, ecosystem has come about, and I think it's great. It's okay if you want to have different books for different things. It really is. It's okay if you want to have one book to rule them all. It's okay if you want to do if you want to have just one planner, one journal, or do one book July all the time. That's fine. That is fine. But I am glad to see the concept of the notebook ecosystem come about. I kind of feel it makes me personally feel seen and accepted, even though I don't feel like maybe on some level I felt like I needed permission, but also at the same time I knew I didn't need permission. I know, it's weird. So yeah, if you're someone who needs all the notebooks for different things, don't feel bad about needing all the notebooks. If you need someone to give you permission to use all the notebooks, you have my permission. You don't need anybody's permission, but you have my permission if you feel you need it. Welcome to the club. And yeah, so that's kind of all I gotta say about that. I've been really liking watching the little shorts or reels or even longer videos on YouTube about other people's systems. So yeah, I think that's all I have to say about that without rambling too much. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video, okay? Bye.